Hello everybody, Joe Bacon Donuts here. Welcome back for another episode of Umineko. I'm still dying. It's still not great, to be 100% honest. A bit more coughing today, but nice dry cough, nice wheezing cough, like a broken squeak toy where you can just kind of hear the air blowing through. That's my throat right now. Uh, yeah, pollen's bad, but fortunately, I don't have to go to work tomorrow, which means I get to stay inside all day. Except I won't, because I'll be going out and trying to fix my lawnmower again, which still not starting. I got a new spark plug, no dice. I'm gonna have to go and buy some carburetor cleaning fluid and starting fluid, and try to do a little more in-depth troubleshooting instead of just eye fucking the parts and being like, that's kind of dirty. I'll get a new one. Which means I have to drain the gas tank again. Now, gas don't grow on trees. You can't just dig it up out of the ground. That was a joke. Anyway, moving on. Battler, yeah, he ain't doing so hot. Beatrice NTR'd. And now, Ken and Shannon are gonna fucking kill each other. Great. Love it. Let's go. A dissolute wind blew through the golden rose garden. Shannon and Kanon already finished walking 19 steps, and their backs still faced each other. At the signal of the demons responsible for this trial, they would both turn and settle this. Each of them held one of the dueling pistols that the demons had prepared. The bullets promised certain death no matter where on the body they hit. This duel would not end until one of them died. Okay, yeah, but is it going to kill them instantly, or is it going to give them enough time to have, a lengthy, dying monologue? George and Jessica just quietly watched the ones they loved. They had already entrusted all their thoughts to them, and their fates. Just watching over their partners was now the only way they could show their trust. Shannon and Kanon stood quietly with their backs turned. They had already put the emotions of the many days they had spent together behind them. Next time they laid eyes on each other, nothing would be asked of them except pulling that trigger. I also bumped up my mic's volume a little. I noticed when I was in post yesterday, man, I'm kind of quiet. It might just be because, I'm trying not to speak with a lot of oomph in my voice, otherwise I'll end up coughing out a lung. But yeah, I bumped it up a couple decibels. Tell me if you notice a difference, or if you think I'm loud and annoying, you should tell me to go kill myself. The only one who still had no determination or resolution. Resolution? In this context? Hold on. Let me reread that whole thing. I was still thinking about killing myself. The only one who still had no determination or resolution with regard to this duel was Beato. The closer that moment came, the less she understood. The love between George and Shannon wasn't standing in the way of the love between Jessica or Kanon, or vice versa. Why, then, both sides couldn't find happiness? Words are hard. I'm dead. I worked really hard at work today. I had a lot to do. Were they forced to kill each other? Because it's juicy. It's drama.
妹よ、我らには見守ることしか許されん。
Yeah, you kind of get your man stolen.
ゼパルさん、フルフルさん、どうしてこんな決闘を？こんなの恋の試練じゃない。やっぱりあなたたちは悪魔なんです。
Yep. They never claimed to be otherwise.
どちらかの恋人たちを破綻させて、それを見て喜びたいだけの悪魔なんです。
静かに。
恋人たちの邪魔になるわ。
邪魔をしてるのはあなたたちじゃないですか。どちらかが倒れる。倒れた方の恋人たちが嘆き悲しむ。
Yep.
あなたたちさえなければ誰も悲しまない。
それは違う。僕たちがこの決闘を取り持たなかったら、
二組はどちらも破綻したわ。
If you say so, I'll take your words
こ
for
れ
it.
は必要な決闘なの。
An excuse to get some, real concrete, resolve.
魔法の奇跡がなければ恋って成し遂げられないんですか。恋ってあ 愛し合う二人さえいれば他に何もいらないんじゃないんですか。この決闘は無意味です。
Just gotta turn my volume down a little bit.
だからやめて、二人とも。
And it was Beatrice talking. It was giving me a little bit of waveforms, not much. It was in like the like negative 55 decibel range, so I doubt it would even pick up, as any little echo or interference on the recording. But hey, better safe than sorry.
シャノンもカノンもあんなにも実の兄弟のように仲良しだったあなたたちがどうして殺し合わなくちゃいけないの。私にはどうしてもわからない。
Everyone should have been able to hear Beatrice yell. However, no one's expression changed.
そうだよ。よく気づいたね。
それこそ愛の真実。
何がですか。
愛し合う二人以外に、本来は何もいらないんだ。
だからそれが二人でないとき、
Ah,
私たち
yeah.
は決闘でその数を二人にしなくてはならない。
一人の女性を奪い合っての決闘ならまだわかります。愛し合ういびつな三人を二人にする決闘。
Except you forget this, Beatrice. We live in a society.
しかし彼らは二人と二人。
And so there will always be more than just two.
それぞれの世界はもう完成されてるじゃないですか。争わなければならない理由が何もない。
世界を生み出す最小の人数。
二人が揃って初めて世界は生まれ、恋は成就される。
だからこの決闘は必要なんだ。
Gotta trim the fat.
彼らがその人数を満たすため。
家具は人間未満だから一人を満たせないと言い出すんですか。
正解だよ。家具は人間未満。
I mean, yeah.
だから家具と人間じゃ
Simple math.
二人を満たせない。
そんなのおかしいです。愛し合う二人の身分なんて関係ない。
Yeah, but they're not furniture. I mean, they're not people, Beatrice. They're furniture.
いいや、あるよ。本当に愛し合う二人の身分は関係ないの？
妻を持つ男との恋は許されるの？夫を持つ女との恋は許されるの？
親との恋は許されるの？子との恋は許されるの？恋の許されない身分なんていくらでもある。
じゃあ家具って何なんですか。どうして家具は恋をしちゃいけないんですか。
Because they're not people.
魂が一人に満たないから。シャノンもカノンも
They need to
駒
ascend.
である君ももちろん。
あなたたちはみんな家具。魂が一人分に満たないから人間以下。
人を愛する資格はただ一つ。一人に満たつ魂を持っていること。だから愛し合う二人は世界を生み出せる。
例えば妻を持つ男はもう一人の女を愛する資格を持つと思う。
Go ask Rose's boyfriend.
あるわけがない。二人の女を愛せばその愛情は一人分に満たない。そのような男に愛する資格はない
ね。人を愛する資格のない人間や身分なんていくらでもあるの。二人の愛の一切あれば関係ない。それは甘い愛の偽善。
Yeah, that's it's wishful thinking.
僕たちはね、恋をする資格を偽る人間を許さない。世界を生み出す最小人数を満たせない人間以下の存在の恋を許さない。僕たちの試練はそのためにある。
罪深き
魂たちに一人分の魂を取り戻させ、本当の恋ができるようにするために。
All right, sure. Don't really get the mechanics of how that works, but if it,
ゼパル
lets
さん
them be resolved to, become a full person, I guess it works.
僕たちの心の準備ができました。
どうか決闘の合図をお願いします。
The pair, bidding farewell, quietly asked for the signal to be given. Yeah, we're kind of dragging on here. My feet hurt. Zebra nodded silently and walked to the place that could be seen by both of them. Fur spoke in a voice quiet enough to avoid distracting the two
見
duelists.
ているといいわ。
愛し合う恋人たちのどちらかが破綻する決闘
No, to see what it takes to become human.
いいえ、これは破綻のための決闘じゃない。本当の恋を成就させるための決闘。
You know, as they said, Beatrice, right now you're just furniture also. And, for the sounds of it, being furniture involves, denying parts of yourself and whatnot. So, maybe if you stopped doing that, maybe, accepted the, more human nature side of you, let's say, you might be able to, become a full person and help your boy out.
私にはあなたたちの言っている意味がわからない
いいえ、わかりなさい。これは
Otherwise, you're destined to
本
fail.
当に人を愛することができる人間が誕生する瞬間。
意味がわからない
どちらが勝とうとも、どうか祝福してあげて。今彼らの家具としての日々が終わる。
合図は簡単。僕が1、2の3を数える。
Okay, are we going on 3 or are we going on go?
3と同時に決闘開始
Okay,
だ。
it starts on 3.
承知してます。
同じく。
2人が共に弾を外したら一度中断。再び弾を与え、
Reload.
もう一度背中合わせからやり直し。
決着がつくまで繰り返したろ。
ゼブラ、この決闘過去に何度も見てるのかい？
もちろん何度も見てきたよ。
Very dramatic.
大抵何度の打ち合いで決着がつくんだ。
I mean, I'd imagine just once.
ほとんどの場合、弾丸一発で決着がつくよ。
みんな随分と拳銃の腕がいいんだな。
No, they just will it.
違うよ。片方が外せば残った方は悠々と追い詰めて撃つことができる。
Also, shooting is actually fairly easy. Like, you just need to kind of point. Like honestly, like aiming, just point your finger out. Like you're doing a handgun, like pew pew. And just kind of like when you're holding the gun, imagine your index finger is pointing out like that. And honestly, it helps your aim a lot.
手段をもし外したらまず
But, this is the magic metaphorical duel and whatnot, so.
しかしぼんやりしていれば引き金も引けずに負けることになる。
同じ負けるなら、せめて引き金を引いてから負けたい。
いい覚悟だよ、二人とも。では、行くよ。
Who's it gonna be? I was about to say, maybe watch with a nicer face, George. Is not very encouraging.
1、
2の
Oh, you guys are really dragging it out.
3。
Bang. Who could it be? In the Golden Rose Garden, when the number 3 was yelled, the sound of gunfire rang out once. Even the people watching couldn't tell whether there was a single gun firing or the sound of both going off at the same time. Yeah, that happens when there's an echo. In the midst of the stench of gunpowder and white smoke, there, with gun raised and smoke trailing from the barrel, was Kanon. Shannon was lying on the earth face down.
シャノンさんいやシャノンが倒れたのは 銃声より早かった。
What, this was a feint? She just fucking dolphin dived? Jessica's distressed expression was enough to explain what had happened. Played a little dirty, but she just ate shit? Not that coordinated, huh? Slowly, Shannon stood up. There was no bullet wound anywhere on her body. At the time of the signal, Shannon had thrown herself to the ground, dodging the bullet. It had been a gamble. If Kanon had turned around and taken the time to aim carefully before shooting, then he would have shot her as she lay there. However, if Kanon shot as soon as he turned around, she would be able to dodge it. Kanon had also gambled. He did not underestimate Shannon's skill with a firearm. He was fully aware that hoping Shannon would be timid enough to let him shoot first could result in him losing before he even pulled the trigger. So, he decided to shoot right away. And he had predicted that when he shot, Shannon would reflexively pull the trigger too. Since he was already planning to shoot right away, he was sure that his readiness would allow him to shoot with greater accuracy than her. If Kanon had cautiously turned around, and Shannon had shot instantly with the strength of her will, then Kanon wouldn't have even been able to pull the trigger. So, it wasn't that Kanon acted hastily. The two had simply given it their all, left their fates to the heavens, and reached this result.
まさかあの短気な姉さんが撃たないなんてね。
私も意外だった。あの慎重なカノン君が振り向きざまなんてね。
As Shannon quietly pointed the barrel at him, she slowly walked forward. She planned on cautiously closing the gap until she reached a distance from which she could hit with even more certain accuracy. And Kanon had already lost any means of fighting back. He could only try to dodge Shannon's bullets and place his bet on the second round. They both had the same view of the situation, which meant one could be taken by surprise.
まだ終わっちゃいない。
Kanon dashed forward like a tornado, bent over so low that he was almost crawling over his shadow. This duel could only be settled by a bullet, but he wasn't the only one who had a bullet. If he could steal Shannon's gun away from her, he could turn this all around. And if Shannon could calmly shoot through Kanon, it would be all over. The odds that Shannon would miss, that he could get close enough to her before she fired. Kanon bet all the chips he had on these. Shannon could draw Kanon in until the last second, then shoot him from a closer distance. She could also pull the trigger just before he reached her, and they would have to start over from the beginning even if she missed. Shannon kept her gun pointed at Kanon's forehead as she compared these options to the final moment. No, you want to aim for the center mass. She led her shot, calculating the distance he had already moved and the time it would take to pull the trigger. Lady Luck smiled, impartially.
しまった。
In a flash, Kanon leapt to within striking distance of Shannon as she missed the final moment to pull the trigger. He swung his hand up and smashed the gun she held upwards. That strike sent her gun flying into the sky. At the same time, Kanon's gun also flew from his hand and soared into the air. The two guns danced a rondo through the sky, reached their peak, and began to fall. By that time, neither one of them knew which gun was theirs. The one with the hammer down is Kanon's. The two guns were exactly the same. Everything about them was identical. There's no way to tell them apart. However, there was one difference. Only one of them had a bullet inside. Unless he also, recocked it. The pair raised their hands to the sky, trying to grasp their fate, their miracle. It was as though they were trying to grasp the wings of a descending angel of miracles. The pair looked up at the brilliant sky and entrusted everything to Lady Luck. Then, they each grabbed one of the guns out of the air, and after dancing a momentary rondo, their arms crossed each other. Even that was like a dance. And the barrels of each of their guns came to a dead stop against each other's forehead. Even they could not know which gun held the bullet. When they both pulled the triggers, one would die and one would remain alive. The match would end. George and Jessica had no way of knowing how it would turn out until that moment came. However, was it really impossible for the two holding the guns to know? The barrel of Kanon's gun, which had already been fired, must have been warm. And the barrel of the other gun, which Shannon hadn't fired, could have been ice cold, or should have been ice cold. Well, I mean, he only fired one shot. It's not going to be that hot for that long. So, perhaps the pair of them did realize which gun was which. And yet, both expressions were as solemn as could be, showing that they would hold total belief and zero doubt in their own fates until the moment the trigger was pulled.
悲しまないで。私たちはすぐに黄金鏡で会えるよ。
僕たちはもっと早くこうするべきだったね。
そうすれば。
I mean, maybe, you know, not in this fashion, but sure.
いざこの決闘さえももはや今日という日の前にはただの茶番さ。
Yep, never really happened.
そうだね。どうせ蘇る黄金鏡の前には本当にただの茶番。じゃあ後ほど。
後ほど。
さようなら。
Who could it be? Suddenly, Kanon fell to the floor as if he'd had an attack of anemia. It happened without any prior warning, so everyone rushed up to him in alarm. What they saw surprised them. There was a single strand of blood across his forehead, making it look as though it had cracked open.
そんなどうしたんだどういうことだこれ
Trying to get a look at the wound, Goto wiped Kanon's forehead with a handkerchief. However, his forehead was perfectly smooth, without any trace of a wound. And yet, it was as though it was seeping through his skin. Blood was pouring out.
何やってやがんだしっかり止血しろいそれが
Yeah, there's no wound to apply pressure to. What are you gonna do?
血が止まらない
It's like a really bad stigmata. Kanon's face was pale, though his eyes were wide open, they had lost the light of the living. Just as though he was a puppet whose strings had been cut, he passed away. Worse ways to go, I guess.
さようなら、カノン君。そしてありがとう。
Rough, huh? Jessica dashed up to Kanon's corpse, held it, pressed her forehead against his, and as her own forehead grew wet with Kanon's still warm blood, she wailed.
ジョージさん、私が勝ちました。これで私にはあなたを愛する資格が。
Woo! Good job! Shannon leaned against George's chest, as though the strings holding her up had been cut. George held her in silence. Yeah, your hands are probably a little sweaty, your knees a little weak. Not really gonna blame you for that. There was nothing in the golden rose garden except the wind that carried golden flower petals, and the sound of Jessica's heartbroken wails. All right, let's bust out the party poppers and the champagne. Congratulations!
もう十分かい
十分さ。おめでとう。残ったのは君たちだ。
君たちを祝福するわ。でも忘れないで、愛を育むのがこれからのあなたたちの務め。
この奇跡が生み出した恋の
Takes
種
effort.
を
Don't
ど
go
うか
resting
し
on your
っかり
laurels.
育ててほしい。
もちろんさ。彼女と君たちにかけて誓う。
それでは魔法の奇跡をシャノンに。
今こそ君の魂を人間に
Cool. Is there like a big transformation scene, or is it
一
just,
人分に満たそう。
all internal? A change of perspective.
集え満たぬ魂よ、一なる魂となりて愛を知りたまえ。
When Zepar and Furtiver faced the heavens and yelled, the miracle of love gathered the souls around Shannon. Sizzly. They came from the losers of the trial, from Kanon, who had been defeated, and from Beato, who had dropped out. Slowly, the bodies of the two began to break down into flecks of gold dust. Oh!
これはこれはどういうことだ。負けたら消えるとは聞いていないぞ。
Well, she's not really gone. Yeah, just another transition, I guess? As she yelled, Beato the Elder supported the body of her fading little sister. However, the two demons were smiling quietly.
カノンは死んだから消える。そしてベアトはバトラーを愛するために生まれたから、その資格を失って消える。
これはとても公平。あなたが生き残ったなら他の二人が消え去ったのだから。
Hey, ain't
我
wrong.
が妹よ、しっかりせよ。バトラの密室を解き救うのではなかったのか。こんなところで果ててどうする。それでも一なるわらわの片割れか。
Oh, just keep lowering the transparency. Transparency? Transparency, that's what I was saying.
どうして私は
Words are hard, okay? I'm not very smart.
好きになる理由を実は知らないんです。はあ？こんな時に何を。
I mean, you don't really need a reason.
だって私生まれた時にバトラさんを愛しなさい、愛されなさいって、それが目的で生み出されて、だからどうしてバトラさんを私は好きなのかよく知らなくて。人を好きになるのに理由などいらぬわ。消えるな。
Yeah, but there's usually, like, an underlying cause.
そなたが消えたら誰がバトラを救う。我が妹よ。
Oh, gee, I wonder.
ベアトリーチェ。私ってどうしてバトラさんのことを好きなんですか、お母さん。
ああ、俺ってさ、家庭的なことか案外苦手なんだよな。この通りガサツな性格だろ。
Uh-huh.
レディーファーストとか、女の子の前では礼儀正しくとか、そういうのはさっぱり苦手なんだよな。だから強いて好みはって言われると、そうだな、ジェシカみたいなタイプの女なら結構
Yeah,
好き
but
だな。
she's like your first cousin, so no go.
俺がガサツなように向こうもガサツがちょうどいいんだ。お互いよ、
Mm-hmm.
汚ねえ言葉遣いで気づかれなく、
And have a really gross
男女と
laugh.
か気にしないでバカがやれるラフだから、もしも俺に彼女ができるとしたら、いつも俺がジェシカとバカやってるみたいにはちゃめちゃな関係がいいよな。あ、容姿の好み？別にそんなのは気にしねえけどよ。まあ洋画とかに出てくる金髪ボーイ、
Uh-huh.
青目のグラマラスな彼女だったら 最高だぜ。ちいちもませろーいってな。
Wow, you don't say. Who would have thought that Battler knew Beatrice before? Whoa! Mind blown, what a revelation. Beatrice, listen to me. I'm giving you my love for Ushimiya Battler. You're to become the kind of woman Ushimiya Battler desires. You will have the golden hair he likes. You will have the blue eyes he likes. You will have a personality that matches his. And then, you are to love him in my place. And if fate allows it, be loved by him. I can no longer love him. Please, take these desires I couldn't bring to fruition. These feelings too great for me to bear, and see them through yourself. From this day forward, you are no longer the Rokenjima ghost who lives only to play pranks. From this day forward, you will be the master of this island, waiting for the day that he comes to fulfill his promise. From this day forward, you will do this in my place. So, from this day forward, you will no longer be me. Please, forgive me for pushing all my troubles onto you, while I alone try to find happiness. From this day forward, you have the right to hate everything. From this day forward, you are the Golden Witch, Beatrice. And one day, you will destroy everything, revive everything, and bring blessings to all lovers. When that day comes, I pray that you and I will both have found happiness. From this day forward, you will no longer be me. From this day forward, I will no longer be you. The two of us will split a single soul and share it. And though, of course, that won't amount to a complete soul, I'm sure our dreams will be more numerous than most. Let us be blessed, my darling Beatrice. No one else can see your form, but I can. And if you're loved by a lot of people, I'm sure they'll all start seeing you too. We can all see if we have love. Yeah, that one's a little odd. You know, you just kind of drop dead.
ふざけろ。こりゃ何の冗談だよ。
なんだ、南條先生を呼んできます。
ゴーだ。もういい。
Yeah, you can't go breaking the seal in the room. Genji, who had been calm and silent through the whole thing, finally spoke. Those were the most reasonable words spoken. If he called Nanjo here, then what? Not only was there no arm to take the pulse of, there wasn't even a forehead to feel the heat of. Oh, he had just fucking disappeared. Alright. Like the last unmelted snow greeting the warm sun of spring, Kanon's form. There was no longer even a trace. His form had sparkled with a spray of gold and vanished completely.
どこ行っちゃったの？
I want to go live in a farm up north.
ヨシア君どこ？ヨシア君！ヨシア君！
He's with old Yeller now.
さよなら、お嬢様。
Well,
ジェシカ。
old Yeller didn't go to a farm up north. He just kind of got, you know, the treatment Kanon actually got.
カノンさん。
僕たちはもう
Mm-hmm.
誰の目にも触れ
They're
ら
in
れ
the
ない。
losers bracket now.
それはつまり彼らの世界ではいないのと同じことだけれども、でもこうして僕たちはここにいる。
そうですね。私たちはここにいる。
僕たちには体なんて肉でできた檻でしかないんだから、悲しむ必要なんてない。
でも気の毒ですね、ジェシカさん。
だからこれが僕の罪なのさ。
Should have gone to church.
だから僕たち家具は 恋をしてはいけなかったんだ。
あなたはこれから
姿を失っても、そして話しかけることができ
Just
な
gonna
かっ
haunt her? Cool.
た。もしもジェシカが僕に語りかけてくれた時、その背中でそっとうなずくくらいのことしか
Become her
できないけれ
stand?
ど、
Awesome.
だからそばにいることにする。
良いことだと思います。
君はどうする？
バトラさんを密室から助けたい
Damn,
です。
shame you don't have a form to actually, interact with the, physical world.
密室？
Yeah, he's a little inconvenienced at the moment. After looking a bit taken aback, Kanon laughed gently. Beato, who hadn't expected to be laughed at, looked a little sour.
どうして笑うんですか？私には大切なことなんです。
だって密室なんて体のある人間たちの問題じゃないか。
Yeah, you can just, phase through the door, but
僕らはすでに肉の檻から
are
解
you
放
able
さ
to,
れた存在だよ。
interact with things?
密室なんか僕たちの妨げになるものか。
そんなのいいんですか？だってチェーンロックとかガムテープの封印とか。
Again, you're like a ghost.
若き真
You
実
think
とか。
like a ghost.
そうか、君は駒の世界じゃなくてそれより上の世界の存在だったね。だから僕たちとは違う制約があるらしい。やれやれ。
Kanon stretched. It looked as though he was about to head out
カ
somewhere.
ノンさん、
敗者同士の仲さ。いいよ、僕が行ってきてあげるよ。僕がお屋敷の客室へ行ってバトラ様を外に出し、入れ替わりでチェーンをかけて代わりにクローゼットに隠れる。
Sure.
それでいいかい？
気持ちは嬉しいです。でもカノンさんはいとこ部屋から出たくてもエリカさん
Well,
の
he's not in
封
there.
印
He's
のせい
gone.
で
So, who knows where Kanon is? Unlike the next room over, the cousin's room where Kanon was had been guaranteed to be a complete locked room, even counting the windows. Not only did he have no way to save Balor, but he couldn't even escape himself.
なら君の魔法で僕に力を与えて。
私の魔法で。
僕に魔法をかけて。
To do what?
そんな、私魔法の使い方なんて。
君は黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェじゃないのかい？
私は魔女で
It's
すけれど、
complicated.
その魔法どころか密室トリックもわからないただの。
やれやれ。いいかいベアトリーチェ。一度しか教えないよ。魔女ってのはね。
魔女ってのは？
Somebody's delusional.
謎を解かされる側じゃない。
謎を解かされ
Well,
る側
yeah,
じゃ
they proposed them.
ああ、そうさ。どうして魔女が誰かの謎で頭を抱えてるんだい？頭を抱えるのは魔女の仕事じゃないだろう。
じゃあ魔女の仕事は？
僕の知ってる黄金の魔女、とびっきりの魔法で、誰にもわからない難問を生み出して煙に巻いて、誰にもわからない最悪の謎を作って徹底的に煙に巻いてこき下ろしている。相手に出された謎で頭を抱えるのはね、君じゃない。
Yeah, the turntables.
私の相手の仕事。
後ろ宮バトラーをどうやって密室から出すかを悩むんじゃない。チェーンロックの密室、バカバカしいね。なら君はそんなのよりもっともっととびっきりの
Okay.
最高の密室を作ってやって、あいつらを悩ませてやろうじゃないか。僕も手を貸すよ。
悩むのは私じゃなくて。
You need to believe.
あいつらの方さ。 地獄の悪魔をひれ伏して絶句する。最悪の密室トリックを無限に使いこなす。無限の魔女ベアトリーチェの本当の恐ろしさをそろそろ連中も思い出してもいい頃
バトラさんの密室より最悪の
Hey, get creative. Now go with your gut. Ah, God damn it, I'm out of coffee. I lift up the pot to refill my cup, then, whoop, straight up into the air. There's nothing in it.
最悪の
In the back of Beato's mind, images she remembered began to flit by, one after another. Later, the mansion, the guest house, the rose garden. Yeah, all the fucking wacky shit, the chain-locked room, all that. Trick, mistake, mislead, taunt, trap, laugh together. You know about this trick? It was in a book I read once. Beato's eyes opened wider and wider. Countless lights circled around her, swallowing her up.
あともう一個。
何です？
それ密室の魔女の喋り方にはふさわしくない。
やっぱり
Yeah, you really gotta lean into it. Ham it up.
わらわでなくっちゃ。
The word that's hard for me to say because I have a fat tongue. The marriage ceremony ended without any problems, and the reception was held inside the cathedral. Nice, don't gotta pay for two venues, or draw different backgrounds. As the goat demons partied raucously, the lantern could be seen leaning against a pillar, trying to escape from the noise. Me too. I hate noise. Then, Gertrude appeared and whispered some kind of report to
それ
her.
は本当ですか？
近景現在コーネリア補佐官が現場保全に向かいたるものなりやエリカ教にも中心すべきかと存じ上げ奉る。
わかりました。ご中心申し上げます。ガートルードは
Alright, I guess let's inception it up. Murder mystery and a murder mystery.
準戦闘配
Now, what's a better venue than a big party, like this?
行為ご歓談中失礼いたします。本式典警備長であります。
え？私？何？なんかよ。
Work.
だからはしゃぎすぎだって言ったのに、さすがにシャンパンタワーでボーリングはやりすぎだわ。少し油を絞られてきなさい。
God, champagne is too easy to drink.
もう何よ。私なんかした？
I know, because when I was like 15, I went to my cousin's wedding, and all my older cousins thought it was so funny to keep giving me their champagne.
受付に差出人不
It's a
明
quick.
のラムダデルタ教宛てと記された封筒が届けられました。
私、非通知と差出人不明は全部ポイしちゃう主義な
I
の。
mean, that's, good.
そ
Should
ん
do
なの捨
that.
てちゃって。
そ
However,
れがこれなのですが。
何それ？これ届いたことは誰かに言った？
いえ、受付の姉妹兵2名と私のみです。すでに箝口令を与えました。
the instant she saw the envelope, Lambda snatched it away and lowered her voice. Bern Castell had walked away and was apparently making fun of Erica. Erica was drunk, of course, and Bern was getting that way too. If they were left alone, they'd probably forget about this. It was true that the envelope had no sender written on it. However, the seal done on in gold leaf fulfilled the same purpose. That seal was... Lambda Delta hid behind a pillar, ripped the envelope open, tore out the letter inside, and read. Her eyes instantly started to glint. And I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, nope, beat it back, somehow. Oh, jeez. I'm fine. And she grinned like a kid who'd just gotten a naughty idea.
いかがしますか？狙撃犯は赤色弾頭を携行しています。ご許可をいただければ装填命令を出します。
何言ってんのよ。
今日はどんだけ豪華な来賓が来てると思ってんの？万一参列者に流れ玉が当
Don't want any
たったら
collateral.
シエスタ近衛隊の新しい妹たちは向こう10年は工場から弾頭台に直行しなきゃなんないくらいの責任になるわよ。了解。
Can't have that.
通常弾頭で対応するであります。煉獄の7姉妹に監視をつけますか？いるわけないでしょ。だって7区はバトラの、そして今やエリカの家具じゃない。どうして味方に
They
監
might
視
have their
を
own
つけた
personal
の？
feelings, but they're under contract.
とにかく警備を、まあそこそこにちゃちゃっと厳重にしなさい。先ほどガートルード上席補佐会より準戦闘配備勧告を受けました。
I mean,
理
probably
由は
smart.
不明であります。ガートルードがじゃあ勧告に従っちゃいなさい。パーティーは賑やかな方がいいってことでしょ。
Good to go with your gut.
了解であります。 WO よりシエスタ17、シエスタ38、シエスタ45、コード R、警戒発令、レベル2で待機を伝達。
How are we doing our levels? Are we going like DEF CON where 1 is the highest?
17コピー、38
Or are we going like 5 is the highest?
45了解。そこでコピーといえばかっこいいのにね。焦っちゃってつい。
Don't worry about it.
そうそう45。ちょっとこっち来て。なんです？ちょっと任務中です。ダメ、耳をいじんないで。耳おっとくに。
For loud noises?
なんです？
Oh, someone's calling me. Give me a second. All right, work all over. Oopsie doodle. That was may or may not have fucked up a little, but hey, you know, I was doing a lot of work today. Yeah, something slipped through the cracks. Anyway, not a big deal. Just a slap on the wrist and don't do that again. I'm like, yes, sir. Anyway,
冗談でしょ。ありえない。現在コーネリアを向かわせています。ベアトリーチェがここを襲撃する可能性が極めて大です。披露宴は中断されて退避されることを
I can't do that.
どうしたのエリカ？何か余興に手違いでも？いいえ、
I can't be shown going on the defensive, you know, at this grand
お
moment.
楽しみください。あ、誰かベルンカステル卿に梅干しワインのおかわりを。
The question had come too fast for Erica to hide her agitation. When Bernkastel saw this, she knew that their final, late guest would soon be arriving. Yeah, didn't really play it off the best.
ルシネ、ゲストハウスで動きがあったそうよ。ゲストハウス？ゲーム版のことなんか今はくだらない話だわ。それが密室のいとこ部屋からカノン君が失踪したって。はあ？あんた分かってんの？いとこ部屋は扉も窓も完璧に封印されてる完
Yeah,
全密室。
magic.
失踪なんて不可能だわ。
いや、私も裏を取ってきた。間違いない。カノンはいとこ部屋より姿を消している。
Well, now ain't that a pretty pickle?
いとこ部屋のどこかに隠れてるとか、あるいは最初からうまくごまかしてもともと部屋に入ってなかったとか。不可
That'd
能
be
だわ。
pretty tricky to do.
いとこ部屋にはエリカ卿が読み上げた特定個人数名以外の全員が入ってることが保証されてるのよ。ごまかして逃れることは不可能だわ。どうやってユングフラウの封印結界を。いや、それよりカノンは一体どこへ？至急探しなさい。
At that moment, the cathedral suddenly went black. The surprised commotion of the guest filled the cathedral.
来たわね。WO よりオールシエスタ、コード R 警戒、シエスタ17、電源系統回復はネガティブ。管理室スタッフとの通信が途絶中。オールシエスタ、コードレッド、ロックンロール。
Alright.
コピーコピー。了解。あ、じゃなくてコピー。
The sniper teams and the chandeliers all released their safeties at once. The entire security team down the hall loaded their ammunition.
エリカ卿、控室へ退避を。ここは危険です。
maybe get the VIPs out.
何が危険なんです？この世界の領主は私です。その私が何に怯えて逃げろと言うんです。ガートルード、要人警護結界準備。コーネリアを至急呼び戻すのです。
近景対応中なり。
結界？あんたらの無残までみっともない結界で婚礼衣装の私を包もうってんですか？なんたる侮辱！
I mean, you might regret those words. This disturbance made even Battler groan as he sat in the next seat like a doll. Even with the soul sealed, Battler probably realized that something strange was going on.
遅かったじゃない。ね、ラムダ。そうね。待ちくたびれちゃったわね。
Well, you know, it makes for an even more dramatic comeback.
さっきのあれ、誰からのラブレター？ファンレターよ。ラムダちゃんファンクラブの。
Lambda Delta played dumb and munched some popcorn. Then, the lights finally turned on. It was clear that during that blackout, Beatrice had snuck in somewhere nearby, possibly even inside the cathedral itself. The whispering goat attendees all realized it as well. Whose scheme was this, and what were they doing? It may have been imprudent. They were all looking forward to this, and an excited chatter filled the cathedral.
来たみたいね。カープ、あなたもう戻ってきていいんですか？
I mean, they probably didn't let her, just they had bigger fish to fry.
私にほら、牢屋って意味ないし。
確かに。
でもリーチェ、バトラの密室もいとこ部屋も、そして唯一可能性のあった隣部屋もすべて。
Yeah, those are all some A-class locked rooms from my perspective. But then again, my perspective is not worth dog shit.
お嬢様が何かのトリック X を用意できたと仮定しましょう。
Ah, the old tried and true.
それをエリカ卿に突きつけるべく乗り込んでくるは必死。
しかしこの大勢のシエスタ兵たちが相手ではまさかこんなに隠れていたなんて無理だわ。縫い殺されてしまう。
Rabbit ears could be seen poking out all around the hall. It was incredible that such a large number of them could remain hidden and unnoticed.
エリカに一度だけ肉薄するチャンスがあれば五分の勝負までは持ち込めるわ。
なるほど、その手ですか。しかしそのアイテムをお嬢様がお持ちだといいのですが、いつも面倒くさがっていくらご用意しても嫌われていましたからな。やれやれ、最後まで世話の焼けるお嬢様だ。
Okay. With the crowd, Barnaby took something out and showed it. When Virgilia saw the object in his hand, she understood its meaning. True, with that, it should be possible to stop the attacks from the Chester troops.
まあ、エリカに聞かなきゃそれまでだけどね。問題は、たった一度でもいいから、エリカの真正面まで行け
What,
る
did you just have like carrots in your pocket?
シエスタたちはそれを断固阻止するはずよ。リーアなら、その時間をプレゼントできそうね。
Virgilia gave a small nod. However, the problem was the two Chester troops standing at her back. Since that time she had tried to jump out in front of the procession, she had been marked constantly. It was possible, with Virgilia's vast magical power, to momentarily take out all of the Chester troops in the cathedral. That would only gain a short bit of time, but it would be enough to confront Erica. The Chester troops knew this, so they kept a close eye on Virgilia with tense faces. At that moment, the great cathedral door was blasted to bits. The fragments became gold butterflies, which danced across the room in a beautiful blizzard of gold leaf. That golden storm slowly faded away. Then, at the entrance to that red-carpeted path to the grave, stood a calm, majestic figure.
射殺せよ。
ネガティブ。身元照合中。
Delana ordered the guards to shoot the intruder right away, but Chester 00 didn't comply. was because she had been warned about shooting these guests and was afraid of the consequences if she accidentally shot a drunk guest who had disguised themselves as Beatrice as some sort of prank? No, Double O was just coolly and calmly carrying out her duties.
おや、これはこれは。てっきりご欠席かと思っていましたよ。
The pair faced each other from either end of the long red carpet. However, in between them stood several dozen Chester honor guards.
最高の来賓であるあなたがお越しにならないのでご心配申し上げておりましたとも。でもせめて披露宴には間に合ってよかった。
You're a little more up to form. Beato laughed. That chuckle made Battler's eyes quiver slightly.
お前は。
She'd been hitting that good stuff.
待たせたな、フルドエリカ。祝福に来たぜ。
She had an overpowering and evil presence about her, strong enough to make anyone shiver. Was it still necessary for her identity to be confirmed? Who could possibly mistake this overwhelming presence?
ベアトリーチェー。地獄で会おうぜはわらわの好む別れの挨拶言葉であるが。
But
身元確認。大ベアトリーゼ教徒確認。
まさにここがそうだぜ。フルドエリカー。
at that moment, the two Chester troops standing behind Virgilia slumped over and fell to the floor. Renevea touched the bases of their big ears from behind. It was clear that he had applied some sort of magic.
どなたかお医者様をお嬢さん方が貧血のようだ。
オールシエスタ。お。
Oh, didn't mean to cut you off. I was surprised by the trill right there in the music. Just an instant before the Chester troops could fire, Virgilia raised her arms to the heavens. Her magical power, which was more than enough to remind all present what her name had been at the height of her strength, became a spirit wave and exploded throughout the cathedral. Impact made the stained glass windows shatter, and colorful glass shards poured down everywhere.
冷戦防御。復旧急げ。
However, all the Chester honor guards, who didn't have any spirit particle defenses, toppled over like dolls. Ceiling snipers, who were defended, were able to avoid their systems going down completely, but it would take several minutes before they could recover. That span of time would be enough to reach Erica. However, Erica couldn't be defeated in just a few minutes. There was no way they could carry Battler away in that time. What could they use for this? What should they use this precious time for? Beato dashed down the red carpeted path. She ran down the path to the grave, which was lined by Chester troops lying there like corpses. She had called this place Hell. In that case, running from Hell to the grave was actually going backwards. Beato's figure dashing through the corpse-ridden path truly symbolized her resurrection.
お嬢様、これを。
もらうぞ。
As she dashed, she snatched something white from Reneve's outstretched hand. There was no longer any blocking her path to Erica. However, that instant, a gold thread came in front of her and rapidly sewed through the red carpet towards her like a sewing machine.
ほう、邪魔者がいたか。
Yeah, it can't be that easy.
再装填完了。データ要求に射撃用レーダー捕捉。410データリンク。
410 was clever. She had predicted that Virgilia would go for a spirit particle attack and had folded her over her ears and 45s beforehand. So, they were the only ones that weren't taken out.
射撃。
How convenient that you don't have to draw any extra character sprites this way. Once again, the gold sewing thread chased after Beato, weaving like a sewing machine. It was as though an undulating golden snake was shooting after her.
こしゃくなエリカとの一騎打ちに貴重な時間を邪魔しよって
Beato jumped sideways away from the red carpet and ran across the top of a long table covered with beautiful food. The gold snake chased her, sewing through the pure white tablecloth like a sewing machine and scattering dishes left and right. Goat attendees ran about wildly, trying to escape. The cathedral was wrapped in pandemonium.
霊視攻撃を避けていたウサギがいたなんて
まずい。あんなところに陣取られてはどうにもなりません。
It's over, Beatrice. We have the high ground. The pair of snipers, attacked from high above on the chandelier, were much further away than Erika was, too far for Beato to reach. Furthermore, their position couldn't have been worse for Beato, with the entire cathedral inside their range of fire.
お気の毒にベアトリーチェ様恋の試練は過酷に45追
これ
Thank you. Cap handed her the magazine. 45 always handed them over the wrong way around. So, 410 was a bit confused to have one handed to her the right way up. No? No matter how distant a position they might take, there's no problem for the elusive Gab. Gab twisted their long ears up, then tickled them with her thumbs. The Chester's greatest weapon was also their greatest weakness. The two doubled over with laughter.
この2匹は抑えたけどあと何秒他のシエスタが再起動する
On the other chandeliers, even more powerful Chesters were slowly starting to move again. It would be impossible to buy any more time.
ガープかありがたい本に切るリーアたちも褒めてあげてベアト頑張りなさいしっかり
もう時間がありませんぞ。
エリカ
Beato cut through the crowd of scampering goats like Moses. Her goal was straight in front of her, the place where Erika and Battler were seated. Just then, a red barrier was created, blocking her path. It was the VIP guarding barrier that Gertrude had set up. She stepped forward and laid out a last line of defense to block Beato's way.
これ以上の接近を許さないものと知りたまえそんな壁でわらわを止められると思うか
シエスタ再起動まであと何秒です
30秒ないです
As the eldest of the Seven Sisters of Purgatory, Lucifer stood in waiting behind the bride and groom. She wanted to save Beato. If she could just distract Gertrude for a moment, the wall would disappear. However, the Seven Sisters were furniture. They served the territory lord, so they couldn't move to help Beato. Delana glanced over at Lucifer. There was a coercive tint to her eyes.
あなたは
Words
ある種
hard.
の命令ない限り動くことは許されません
主って誰よバカねエリカのやつってことにな
Yeah,
ってる
it's in the contract.
違うわよ私たちの主はバトラ様だわ
Transitive property.
エリカはその代理に過ぎない
そうよお姉様私たちは誰の家具美味しすぎるわつまみ食いし
Sure,
たわ
just mend the rules. Twist those words. The red, absolute barrier flickered for just an instant. Beelzebub's stake had pierced Gertrude's shoulder, and her concentration had wavered. But it didn't break. Slowly and expressionlessly, Gertrude turned to look at Lucifer.
誰の命令なりエリカ教にその指示はなきなりと知りたま あるわ。我らが主の命令よ。
You know, he might not have said it, but he's feeling it. Just trust her words on this one.
物聞かずともそれを察するが家具の道と見つけたり。
Goes to show the strength of our bond.
ならやむなし。
I don't sound too broken up about it with Gertrude. The 7 stakes shot at Gertrude at once. Gertrude had chosen to take all of those direct attacks, refusing to abandon the barrier until the very last moment. Though she was resilient enough to do justice to the name of Erstein Jungfrau, Iron Maiden, and took no damage at all. The attack was more than enough to make her flinch and lose control of the barrier.
上出来だ我が家具たち。
Beatrice shot through the scattered red fragments of the barrier, and she was finally right in front of the bride, her rival, Erica. However, there stood the final shield protecting Erica. Death sentence Delaner.
遅いです。もはや時間切れです。ベアトリチェ卿。
シエスタ17よりオールシエスタへデータリンク。大天使衛星よりデータ入電。誘導方式。
Oh god, not the rods from God.
シエスタ20再起動完了。
シエスタ127再起動完了。
How come all the other Chisters sound more normal than you two, huh?
リーチ幸運。
Good start, good start, baby steps.
ドラノール。どけドラノールエーノックス。そなたの出番はない。
あなたを否定する赤き真実をベルンカステル教より賜っています。ここがあなたの墓場となり残念です。
I don't know what Bernkastel has allowed her to say. However, I don't need to sit around and let that longsword tell me.
そなたと後でたっぷりと遊んでやろうぞ。だが今はどけ。
There's no time. The Chesters have already finished reactivating. I'm only living on a bit of borrowed time.
引くのはあなたの方です。出番を間違えた哀れな出演者があなたです。
Delaner's red longsword cut a large arc of absolute denial, which headed right for the crown of Beato's head. However, in that instant, there was a thunk, and the sword was knocked slightly off course. Beato didn't let this good fortune go to waste. She slipped past the longsword, knocked Delaner aside, and finally stood right in front of Erica. This time, not a single person stood in her way.
これはどこから。
緊急花嫁警護役より緊急要請。シエスタ姉妹この得体は直ちに
Damn,
侵
I
入
wonder
者
who
を
loves
射
to eat
殺した手
popcorn
は
while
ずれ。
fucking yucking up and watching everything unfold. It's rude, though, to throw things onto the stage. The commotion quieted. However, no one fired. Why? They could have fired if they wanted to. All the Chester troops had her fully in their sights and had removed their safeties. Of course, all of them had finished reactivating. However, they hesitated to pull the trigger.
なぜ射殺せぬことなりや。式典警備役は直ちに。
待つのです。あれは。
Delaner's expression grew grim. Human shield? Then, she quietly put her red longsword away. After all, Erica would have to make a decision. If she decided to ignore that thing in front of her, they could shoot to kill. However, if she picked it up, doing so would be unforgivable. So, they couldn't pull the trigger until Erica decided. Huh?
どうして誰も撃たないの。
Good question, Burn. Let's find out.
あれ、メアトがエリカに投げつけたあれよ。
Lambda Delta pointed, still chomping down popcorn. It was hard to see from the balcony. Beato had thrown something like a white handkerchief at Erica. It had fallen to Erica's feet. What was that white thing?
わかってるわ、あいつ。主役ってもんを本当によくわかってるわ。
面白いじゃないですか。
Eh? The thing that hit Erica in the face and fallen to the floor. The item Beato had gotten from Runaway was a white glove. Hitting someone with a glove like that could only mean one thing. Fight, fight, fight! You've been reading too much shoujo manga, Beatrice. That was.
ゼパル、これは何？
Very Rose of Versailles of you.
どういう意味なの？
これは決闘の申し込みさ。手袋を拾えばそれを受け入れることを意味する。
拾わなければシエスタたちが殺してくれるわ。拾う必要ないじゃない。
拾わなくてもいいさ。でも、
Mm-hmm.
決闘を
Thank you
逃
for
げたお
explaining
め
it to the
えを
audience, that part.
僕らと参列の悪魔処刑は3回すべてに知らしめるだろうね。恋の決闘を逃げた臆病者の名を永遠にね。
Beatrice waited firmly and composedly. If Erica had just kicked it away, then, that very instant, the Chiesters would probably fire all at once, turning her into a golden embroidery. So, Erica did not have to pick it up. However, she could not afford to be afraid of picking it up. After all, she was the true victor who had defeated Battler's locked room trick and logic. If she was the victor, she should have nothing to fear. So, if she was afraid of doing it, it would prove that she still felt a tinge of doubt about her victory.
拾わなければ私はこの衣装を汚すことなく、あ、
それも披露宴の余興には面白い。だがそなたは拾うさ。
へえ、どうしてです？
わらわが
You don't want to
そなたに
besmirch your
ぴ
honor,
った
now,
り
do
の
you?
最高の土産を持ってきたからだ。そなたはそれが知りたい。だから拾うさ。
興味ないです。さようなら。
拾うさ。わらわが持ってきた。バトラの客室などくだらぬ。もっとシンプルで単純な。
Those are the hardest ones.
絶対に解けぬ密室をそなたは聞きたいはずさ。
絶対解けぬ密室。
そなたはわらわの挑戦を受けたいはずさ。なぜならそなたは
Great detective.
探偵だからだ。
It's in your nature. Erica threw off her wedding dress as though it were a cape. Yes, though she was a bride, a piece, and a witch. Before any of those, first and foremost.
私は探偵です。あなたを私の対戦
Well, at least
相
you're
手
true
に
to
認めます。ただ、あなたはこのゲームに登場する資格をロジックエラーは修正できたんでしょうね。
その手袋を拾えばそなたとの戦いの中でそれが修正できたことを証明しようぜ。
Oh! The cathedral filled with noise. Erica had picked up the glove. A duel! A duel! The cathedral was wrapped in a bizarre excitement. At Erica's nod, the lantern pushed the crowd away, leaving the pair alone. People were permitted to witness this duel. However, no one would be allowed to hinder it in any way. Yep, just pull off the mask a little so you can whisper.
あなたを助ける方法はもう見つけました。今あなたを助け出します。
もうしばらくだけ辛抱してください。
Ito's resolute expression returned, and she grinned boldly, looking down on Erika. Yes, there could be no doubt. This was the expression worn by the Golden Witch, the majestic presence of the master of locked rooms. The shadow dashed through the stormy rose garden. It was incredibly light and swift. The raindrops never touched him. He made no splashes in the countless puddles. His feet left no tracks in the mud. That rushing figure was Kanon. Then he ran up the stairs to the entrance of the mansion. He did not slow down in the slightest to open the door. He ran straight at it as though trying to break through, and leapt into it. Though the door was shut, even that couldn't stop Kanon. He slipped through the door, fell into the entranceway, and slowly stood up. His body wasn't even wet. And, as you recall those nostalgic days spent serving the Ushiromiya family, which would never come again, he ran once more. He was headed for Battler's guest room. He ran past the servant room, through the entrance hall, and past the doors to the parlor. Then, the doors to the kitchen and the dining hall came into sight. All of it brings back fond memories. There was the honor and discipline of serving Kinzo directly. However, that man wasn't strict all the time. When the family was out of sight and he didn't have to preserve that air of majesty, his face could turn unbelievably childish, and he would sometimes ask me to take part in strange pranks. Master let me shoot lots of guns, didn't he? That was pretty fun. Sama was actually surprisingly kind. I must have gotten the impression that the master bullied me a lot. Whenever I was the only one around, he would talk to me in a very familiar way, almost as if he was a classmate of mine. I sort of regret that I held back and never did anything but nod in return. Madame was really a strict person. Ever since a rumor spread about her being strict on female servants but soft towards male servants, I get the feeling she viewed me as an enemy. However, she was also a woman to be pitied. On many occasions, when she was alone, I saw her shoulders sagging from her burdens. There were a lot of servants, weren't there? Some lasted a short while, others longer. Genji-sama's the one person fit to be called my father. I'm both grateful and resentful towards him over many things. Over time, all those feelings mixed together, canceled out, and left me with a neutral emotion. In that case, Kumasawa-san could probably be called my mother. She helped me out so many times. I always wanted to repay her someday, and now I've lost the chance for all time. Shannon is my big sister. Without her, I wouldn't have been able to be me. Thanks for teaching me that the ocean is blue. I forgot the "the." Goda? I hate that guy. Still, when I complimented his servant Stu, he would sometimes turn red and tell me there was enough for seconds. I didn't dislike that part of him. I wonder why such strong memories popped in the short time it took me to run past the dining hall. And then, my memories of Jessica. Oh. So you're a boy servant. How old are you? That's my Jessica voice, don't ask for anything more. I think those were the first words she spoke to me. Come to think of it, she was probably interested in me ever since then. I really did have enough time to build up a love that could have competed with the love between George-sama and Shannon. But since I can only see the gray sea, I wasted almost all that time. What does she like about me? What do I like about her? I get the feeling we're never really able to clarify that for ourselves. Oh, she told me. There's nothing wrong with spending more time together to eventually find that out. The reason for love could have come later on. It took me far too long to realize that. Now that I can accept it, I know why Shannon won the duel. God must have been watching. You had so much more courage than I did, and God didn't abandon you. I reached the hallway with the guest rooms. There there was someone lying on the ground. It was Battler. He was lying just outside the guest room, a chain tied to his neck. He had probably struggled to do something with the chain lock from the outside until he had lost consciousness. His fingernails on both hands had been torn off, and they were stained with blood. I could tell at a glance just how hard he had tried until the final moment when his heart had died. The collar binding him wouldn't disappear until the chain lock was set.
バトラ様、大丈夫です。今、お助けします。
Battler responded faintly. He'd probably never imagined that help would come in this eternal locked room. He was so scared that this might be an auditory hallucination brought about by his fleeting delusions that he couldn't be easily roused. Kanon grabbed Battler from behind and dragged him into the room. From the inside of the room was terrible. The windows had been brutally shattered, and the wind and rain had made its way into the room. All kinds of tools and furniture lay broken there. However, Battler hadn't smashed them out of rage. The curtain had been removed and torn to shreds, which had been twisted together. He had turned it into a rope, probably while experimenting to see if he could use it for some trick. He had tried using everything in the room, exploring all possible options of escape. The traces could be seen throughout the room, and even in the bathroom. The empty bathtub was stained with just a bit of blood, and the nippers lay there on the bottom. To protect this tale, he had nearly been prepared to accept Berncastell's brutal method of escape and cut himself into pieces while washing himself down the drain. He was even willing to tear apart his own body to protect the game Beato had entrusted him with. He'd probably questioned himself over and over in this bathtub, wondering if there was any other way out. By the clock of the game world, not even a single day had passed. However, just how many years had lasted in that locked room with the logic error? When faced with an endless span of time, any way of ending it, no matter how cruel, is tempting. However, he had rejected that until the very end. And, even in the last moment when his heart had died, he had wanted so much to show his iron will to escape from this locked room that he had chosen to fall here in the corridor with the chain still around his neck.
バトラ様、カノンです。どうか、お気をしっかり。
He wiped Battler's face with a towel wetted in the sink. In response to that cold sensation, Battler's heart slowly started beating again. Yeah, not really who did you expect to come to your rescue, huh?
そうです。カノンです。よくぞ、今日まで耐え忍ばれました。
ちょいと寝坊が過ぎた。
Just a smidge. You know, things have progressed quite a bit in your absence, but Battler realized that the feeling of the towel on his neck meant that the cursed collar and chain were gone.
もうバトラ様を縛るものは何もありません。さあ、早くお戻りください。
でもよ、あのチェーンを開けるとまた鎖につながれちまう。
大丈夫です。
Not this time.
もうバトラ様を縛る鎖は存在しません。僕がここに残ります。
なんだって。
By now, Battler knew the terror of this eternal locked room better than anyone else. So, his happiness at being able to leave was overwhelmed by a shock at the determination of this room's new
僕
prisoner.
は大丈夫です。何も心配することは
He
あ
just
り
needs
ま
to
せ
go
ん
to bed. You know, just get under the covers.
しかし
バトラ様はまだやらなければならないことが終わりなのではないですか。
Yeah, Kanon's already knocked out this round. He's good.
早くお戻りを。あなたの代わりに戦っている人がいる。そしてあなたの帰りを待っている人がいる。 あなたはまた帰らないのですか？
His stern words and gaze shot straight through Battler.
本当にいいのか？
はい、それでいいんです。これであの時の借りが返せる
What,
のですから。
when he taught you how to lift a bag of fertilizer?
借り？俺カノン君に何か？
バトラ様の借りではありません。いい
What, just the Ushramias in
か
general?
ら言ってください。
Alright.
僕は借りを作らない主義なんです。
I mean, a little bit, that's good for your credit score, though.
さあ、早く。
As long as you repay him back at a timely
あ
manner.
なたは
You know, and consistently.
今度こそ待たせてはいけないんです。だから
It,
早く。
it shows the banks that, you know, you can be trusted with a loan and you'll pay it back. I'm fine. Just a lot of monologuing here. Balor couldn't argue back anymore. He silently bowed his head, unset the chain, and opened the door. Kanon had remained in the room, so no chain appeared around Battler's neck. He could leave this locked room just by running out. The happy-sounding voices that he had heard at the far end of the corridor had been replaced by an excited chatter. There must have been some sort of strange disturbance going on. As Kanon went out into the corridor to see me off, the merciless collar and chain had already captured their new prisoner. He would remain inside this eternal locked room in Battler's place.
カノン君、俺もだぜ。
何がですか？
俺も借りを作らない男だぜ。この恩は必ず返す。それもすぐにだ。
期待していいやら。さあ、走って。あなたの愛する人のところへ。そしてどうか、もう二度と迷わない。
Yeah, it wasn't very cool of you to get, you know, fucking hoodwinked like this. Battler would not turn around any longer. He ran with everything he had. He ran out into the corridor, whose warmth he had cursed so many times. That cursed chain no longer bound him. He ran to the end of the corridor and beyond the light. Kanon, still connected to the chain, watched him go, then quietly returned to the guest room. Now, he only had to worry about his own job. Stay in this room and fix the error in
これで
logic.
チェーンロックをかけて。
As soon as he said it, the chain disappeared from his neck. Now, if he hid in the closet, the one place Erica hadn't checked, the broken logic would be fixed. The closet door opened slowly. It was well oiled and opened without a sound. It was cramped inside and dark. This tiny space is the final place for me. As long as I remain hidden in here, the logic will be
簡
preserved.
単な仕事だな。バラの手入れより簡単さ。
Kanon entered the closet and closed the double doors from the inside. As soon as he did, a small gold butterfly appeared, melted into the darkness of the closet, and vanished. Must have been a sign that the logic had been fixed. The witch's game had already stopped, and the clock of the world of the pieces would never tick again. So, for all eternity, no one could come to save him from this
別
place.
にいいさ。これで借りは返したよ。ベアトリーチェ。
The power of the gold butterfly brooch taught me about love. The third game, it gave me quite some time alone with Jessica. I get the feeling it did many other small things for me. At any rate, now that I paid back all my debts, I owe nothing to anyone, and no one owes anything to me.
ジェシカが貸してくれた音楽テープ返してないや。いいよね、ジェシカ。あれ気に入ってたんだ。だからプレゼントにしてもらってもいいかな。
Sure, bud. Do what you want.
ダビングして渡すから。ダメ。
That's illegal. Sony Music Group is gonna come after your ass. Slowly, Kanon's body began to melt into a cloud of gold butterflies. And after the inside of the cramped, dark closet glittered like a golden planetarium, it faded away like the lights of fireflies and was painted over with a pitch blackness for all eternity. In the cathedral, the goat attendees were all jostling around either side of the red carpet. On the red carpet, standing across from each other, were Beato and Erica. In their hands were the dueling pistols given to them by Zeppar and Furufur.
フリートロック式ですか。
Wrong, they're percussion cap. We went over this last time.
また古墳。
気にするな。悪魔というのは様式美にこだわるものでな。
Its form was similar to an actual old-fashioned gun, but this was, of course, a demon's gun. Yeah, see, the percussion cap goes on the little nipple. That's actually what it's called, the nipple there, under the hammer. And it goes down and it, detonates a really tiny charge, which then detonates the black powder on the inside, and out comes the bullet. This wasn't a gun that would propel a lead bullet with the explosion caused by gunpowder. Like the pistols used in the duels between Shannon and Kanon, whose bullets had contained a magic that would always kill, these pistols also had bullets that were not made of lead.
ベアト、心配の必要はないわよ。あっさり勝って、またリーアは悪態の日々だわ。
この勝負が終わりましたら、たまには有給を申請してみましょう。
You guys aren't getting paid?
私、この戦いが終わったら、たまにはぶらりと
I can see you in a Hawaiian shirt.
方へ船旅に出
この勝負が終わったらはやめとけって。決闘前に演技でもないわ。
Yeah, don't go jinxing
ベ
it.
アと緊張感を持って
Why? She's already won.
ヘラヘラ笑ってる場合じゃありません。
なんでリーチがリラックスしてて、リーアが緊張してんのよ。もう。
Oh god, cheer squad.
ベアトリーチェ様に不利な一騎打ちだ。どうして？
本来
Yes, shonen fucking battle anime, us up here, with the exposition.
ところがゲームが中断されたため、手持ちはバトラ様の客室の謎くらいしかないのよ。エリカはその謎だけ青きくさびでうがっても、全ての謎を解明したことになっ。
勝てるわよ。ベアトリーチェ様とバトラ様の我らが二人の主を。
お呼びですか。ありがとう。珍しく勝ちも負けも五分五分だと思ってます。だから先にお礼を言っときます。すべて職務です。感謝の
Are you at least paying her? He's like, no one getting paid here?
あんたが前回のゲームの時、私がボロクソに負けたのにかばってくれた時嬉しかった。私生まれてから誰かにかばわれたのってあれが初めてだった。我が主にさえ私はかばわれたことがない。私が主に与えられたのは暴かれ
Well,
た真
it's
実
not her job to do that.
暴き返すことで
It's
自
in the
分の
letter's
神を
contract,
打
though.
ち
She
消す
kind of had to.
傷つけ合いの仕方だけでした。
傲慢をお許しください。私は守らねばと思いました。
Yes, even though you are a evil little shit, you are a pitiful creature.
あなたがどんなか弱い真実で生き、それをよりもっともらしい虚実の横暴で虐げられてきたか察した時、あなたを守りたいと思いました。
ありがとう。
Still not gonna forgive you, Erica.
短い間だったけど
But, I also said that about Beatrice, and, she's kind of coming around.
これからもです。
Witches and magic still aren't real, though, at least in this 2-day period.
そうですね。あいつを倒したらあんたと一緒に この島でいっぱいミステリーを作りましょう。そしてそれをあんたに出題していじめて遊ぶ。どうです？
気に入りました。あなたの挑戦楽しみにしています。
あ、嘘ごめん。今の撤回です。こういうの負けフラグって言うんでしょ？
Bad taste. Don't want to multiply the damage you're taking.
さあいいかい、二人の決闘者たち。
When the two demons clapped their hands, the duelists instantly returned to their bold, tense smiles.
魔法の銃に込める弾は鉛じゃないわ。
ミステリーとファンタジーのうがち合いは赤と青の真実を弾とするべきさ。
互いに真実がある限り弾は無限。
Nice.
ただし一撃でも当たれば即死。両者覚悟はいいね。
当然。
無論。
栄光ある元老院の議員にして偉大なる絶対の魔女。大おいでませ。
You gonna be the one who initiated this
何
time?
時この決闘の立ち会い人となることを誓うか。
Well, I guess officiate at least.
もちろんよ。誓うわ。
The crowd split, and Lambda walked forward with Berncastel by her side. She looked between the faces of the two duelists. Then she took out an envelope with the seal of the One-Winged Eagle and lifted it
ベ
high.
アトリーチェより封書にて物語の修正書を受け取ったわ。審査の結果、内容は有効。ロジックエラーの回避を宣言するわ。
Woo!
チェーンロックはかかったまま。これまでの赤き真実に一切矛盾しない。
Chatter, chatter, chatter. Many Goat attendees knew the details of Battler's locked room. They realized how difficult it was. And, though fiery debates had swept across the crowd during the reception, no one had been able to find an answer. And now, it was clear that Beatrice had already reached one.
よって本決闘は有効。決闘はたった1点。バトラの客室
Yeah,
の
no
密室を
going
巡っ
back
て
and
行わ
undermining
れる
this
わ。
one.
チェーンロックがかかった密室から後宮バトラは失踪した。これについてエリカは青き真実の争点を、ベアトリーチェは反論の赤き真実の争点を。決闘は決着がつくまで続けられるものとする。
上等だ。
Alright,
上等です。
simple enough.
OK。それではベアとあなたが修正した新しい物語と謎をエリカに。
Spin us a yarn.
密室のいとこ部屋よりカノンは魔法にて封印を破らずに脱出。密室に至り魔法にてバトラを密室の外へ脱出させた。
Alright,
くだらない
pretty
物語。
straightforward. And yet it has
結構。
happened.
エリカ側確認は？副賞要求バトラを救出したのは間違いなくカノン本人である。
Yep.
受けようぞ。バトラを救出したのは間違いなくカノン本人である。
副賞要求バトラとカノンは別人である。
Yep.
受けようぞ。バトラとカノンは別人である。
結構です。
Alright, basics of basics. We got our, two players.
今ので結構です。戦い方は決まりましたので。 OK。両者は弾丸を装填なさい。
Erica turned around, pressed her finger against the barrel of the pistol, made her blue truth into a bullet, and pushed it in. There was no rule saying that she had to turn away, but she didn't want her expression to be read. Or it might have been because she couldn't stand the tension of looking at Beato's bold smile. Beato had already finished loading her red truth. She waited for Erica to finish while calmly puffing on her pipe. Then she looked at Battler, who sat on the throne of the Territory Lord, right next to the two witches who sat as witnesses to this duel. Battler's consciousness was still hazy. However, he apparently understood that Beato had come to this duel for his sake, so that he could be saved. It was all he could do to just look at Beato with those sluggish eyes, but a flood of emotion passed between them. There was no need for words. A look was enough for them now. Erica closed her eyes tightly, her fingers still up against the barrel. At that moment, her stunning power of concentration made all the distractions of the outside world disappear. Good. My concentration is as sharp as ever. Are you ready, me? Furudo, Erika. First, let's lay out the situation. Valor disappeared from that locked room. The chain lock is set. Did he disappear by magic? Of course not. There has to be a trick. Kanon didn't save him with magic. He just came, took Valor's place, and set the chain. Everyone knows that much. The problem is what comes next. No, it's actually what comes before. Yeah, how did he get out? Kanon, that is. Kanon was in the cousin's room in the guest house. That room was completely sealed with duct tape, and it had been proven that the seal was in effect until the time of the logic error. In other words, Kanon escaped from a locked room that was absolute, with no excuses or twisted logic possible. Good. This is why she called it a simple yet ultimate locked room. How did he escape from the perfect locked room known as the cousin's room? If I fixate on that question, I'd be no better than your average kid detective. That room is a perfect locked room, so there is no way to escape. In other words, try thinking of ways that Kanon could have escaped from the cousin's room is simply a waste of time. The real question is how Kanon could have been somewhere other than the cousin's room at the time it was sealed. The cousin's room is a completely sealed can. If he was in there when it was sealed, then it's already game over. That means he was already outside it at the time it was sealed. I checked everyone's location at the time of the sealing of rooms. That check I performed must be suspect. Well, you did do it without your detective's authority, so at the time, I had just been inside the next room over and confirmed the presence of 5 people there with my own eyes. Hideyoshi, George, Kumasawa, Shannon, Nanjo. I specifically listed the names of those 5 people when performing the location check of that room and received confirmation that they were in there. Then, I checked to see whether everyone else was in the cousin's room and had that confirmed for me as well. I said everyone, so whether he was Kanon or Yoshia, oh god, I'm not used to saying his actual name, or even Puriko man, they all should have been sealed in the cousin's room. It seems perfect. However, though the word everyone seems perfect, something's fishy. The exact definition of that phrase, everyone else, is all people whose names I did not mention directly. In other words, there are exceptions. For example, it's been confirmed that Hideyoshi and George were in the next room over. So humans with the name Hideyoshi or George do not need to be inside the cousin's room. It seems that Kanon told Jessica that his real name was Yoshia. But that was no red truth. In other words, what if Kanon's real name is the same as the one in the next room over? They seem to be about the same age, so let's use George. So, what if there were 2 Georges in that room? That doesn't violate the red truth saying that. Hideyoshi, George, Kumasawa, Shannon, and Nanjo were in the next room over. Let's say that Kanon's real name was Tanaka George. Both Ushiromiya George and Tanaka George could exist in that room at the same time. In other words, there were 6 humans with 5 names. It looks to my eyes as though there were only 5 people in the next room over, but a 6th person, Kanon, was hiding somewhere. I don't have the detective's authority, so it wouldn't be that difficult for him to fool my eyes and hide. He just put a lampshade over his head and stood in the corner. You know, he's a ropey kid. You know, real beanpole. I see the double name trick. Stupid, so stupid. All right, I've made my logic. Kanon, who was hiding in the next room over, not the cousin's room, left by the window after the seals were placed. Back. There was an explosion at the barrel of her gun, staining the tips of her finger red with blood. The Blue Truth gunpowder had exploded. Ah, damn it. I had to land her seal that one a short while ago. I told her to ban any blue truth arguing about the windows of the next room over, so I can't use it.
どうした暴発か弾は慎重に込めぬとな
Yeah, especially black powder.
うるさいです。ちょっとしたミスです。
隣部屋の窓くだらん小細工で塞いだようだな、ガープに聞いたぞ。
そうですか。それが何か。
ドラノールそのくだらぬ封印を解け。
What, release all your limiters?
今やその封印は貴様らの枷である。
Beato had figured out everything I'd been thinking, and she's acting so confident, telling me to go ahead and use that argument.
エリカ卿
解いてください。あんにゃろう。後悔させてやります。
準備はいいようだね。決闘者たち。
Ready as they'll ever be.
良ければ向き合って銃口を。
Start blasting.
真実の火種で着火を。
After facing away and readying herself one last time, Erica spun around. Beato had been facing her since the beginning. She had a confident, challenging smile, as if she'd been kept waiting. Then, without any signal, the two slowly raised their guns, pointing the red and blue glints that hid within their barrels at each other.
来い楽しませてもらうぞ。
始めなさい。まずカノンがいかにしていとこ部屋の密室から脱出したか。
What's your theory?
それを弾丸とします。
ほうそちらから来るか。来るがよいぞ。存分に
参ります。
After holding the gun high and pointing it at Beato once more, Erica pulled the trigger with statements of red and blue truth.
いとこ部屋は完全な密室が最後まで保証されています。よってカノンがこの部屋に本当にいたなら脱
Doing
出は
some
不可
mixing
能
and
です。
matching.
つまりカノンは封印時にいとこ部屋にいなかったのです。カノンの名は仮のもの、本名は未だ不明です。
Alright.
彼の本名が仮に隣部屋の誰かと同じだったなら隣部屋の在室確認に矛盾しない。つまりいとこ部屋に収容されず隣部屋にいることができるということ。
Decent theory. The good attendees chattered and clapped their hands in realization, as if to say, of course, I didn't think of that. Ah, I love watching this. I love being surrounded by this chatter. After all, I'm a detective.
隣部屋は確かに封印されましたがロジックエラー時には扉のみしかその維持が証明されませんでした。よって窓の封印は破られた可能性があります。カノンは隣部屋に存在しその窓から脱出したのです。
Alright, alright.
以上。
Any other theory would be impossible. If this doesn't work, then there's no truth left. As soon as she said, that is all, both of them fired at the same time. After the blast rang out, it was Erica's gun that fell to the floor. Beato's red bullet had knocked Erica's gun from her hand. Was it arrogance or confidence? If she had just aimed the bullet at Erica's heart, the whole thing would have been over. Beato had missed on purpose. There was a confident smile on her face, as though she was offering to play with Erica a little longer. In fact, that was Beato through and through. Beatrice, the witch who mocks others with unsolvable locked room tricks.
封印時の隣部屋にいたのは秀吉、ジョージ、熊沢、シャノン、南條である。そして隣部屋の人数は5人である。この5つの名に該当する者以外は存在しない。
No double names.
すべての名は本人以外には名乗れない。
It was a thoroughly merciless red truth. It really was severe. Now that it had been limited to 5 people, the leeway for Kanon hiding there had been completely denied. Since only those to whom the 5 names referred existed within the room, Erica couldn't even make a new theory by suggesting that one person held 2 names, so that the 5 names referred to only 4 people, and allowing for Kanon to sneak in even though his name wasn't on the list. Furthermore, the part about how every name has just one person that it belongs to, and no one can go by a name that is not theirs, was a fatal blow that cut down countless theories.
思えばそなたは前回の寝ぼけたわらわしか知らんのだったな。どうだエリカ、これが黄金の魔女のゲームだぜ。
Yeah, get used to it.
魔法でカノンが部屋を抜け出したっていうの。
Yeah, it's pretty vexing, huh?
それよりどうして銃を弾くなんて甘い真似を。
人間
she's just a
側
cat
は
batting
魔
around
女
a
の
mouse
謎を
right
全
now.
て打ち砕き、魔女側は人間側の推理を一つ打ち砕けばいい。これではアンフェアだろ。だからわらわも同じにすることにし
Yeah, go ahead, spitball some more theories.
同じ？
わらわもそなたの推理を全て打ち砕いて勝利することにした。カノン脱出の謎はわらわの勝ちだが、もう一つバトラに辛酸を舐めさせた最初の戦場に戻ろう。
You just have to get any part of the chain of events correct. When Beatrice snapped her fingers, that guest room of Battler's was reconstructed. She meant to fight once more in the room that had threatened Battler with a logic error, determined to settle things once and for all.
エリカ、拾え銃を。この部屋をお前の棺桶にしてくれるわ。
その言葉。
Turntable's really on the other foot now,
開始
Erica.
します。私にチャンスを与えたことを後悔させてやります。
立ち会い人よ、エリカに X を許す。
Alright.
X?
Yeah, she can fucking spitball any crazy fucking whack-ass theory.
で、何を許すの？
エリカはカノンの密室脱出トリックの説明義務を負わずに。
Yeah, assuming he got out. Now we're moving to that. He's at the door. What now?
カノンをこの客室トリックをめぐる青き真実に組み入れることを許そうぞ。
If a theory for explaining how Kanon saved Battler did not also explain how Kanon escaped from his own locked room, it would have no basis. I'm just yawning, give me a sec. Oh. Erica had already lost that basis. Beato was giving her a handicap by saying that she didn't need to explain that part.
当然です。あんたはカノンがバトラーを助けたことを赤き真実で保証してるんですか
So he got out somehow.
そんなのもらえて当然です。
Erica faced away again and concentrated even harder. As though twisting the knob on a radio, she turned all the noise and idle thoughts down to 0. Let's go, Furdo Erica. Detective Furdo Erica. It's weird how you refer to yourself in the first person. Or third person. I know my first, second, and third persons. As long as Kanon reached this place, rescuing Battler isn't hard. The trick is as follows. Kanon used some kind of escape trick X to reach the front of the guest room. While I was busy in the bathroom, Battler left the closet. Battler undid the chain lock. Battler went outside. Kanon entered in his place. Kanon set the chain lock. Kanon went to the closet. The end. This satisfies the 2 red truths about the chain lock being set in Battler's absence. And, in exchange for this escape trick, Kanon remains inside the guest room. There's no room for argument on how tightly this room can act as a locked room. That chain is cursed. This demonic locked room, one person must remain as a sacrifice for it to be acceptable. However, is such a simple theory really enough? The rescuer switched places with him, and the rescuer is hiding in the closet. No other sort of theory is possible. And yet, Beato thinks she can win. In that case, does some other trick exist? It's impossible. I swear on the history of the mystery genre that there's absolutely, definitely, categorically no other way. But I'd never be able to call myself a detective if I gave in here. Consider, imagine, don't stop thinking. That's how you drive blue wedges into witches. One thing I can think of. Yes. A wordplay trick. It can only be some kind of wordplay that just barely slips through the net of words spoken and read. In that case, I'll crush all possibilities. I'll crush them all with repetition requests. This final duel has already begun, even though we haven't pulled our triggers yet.
副将要求バトラ救出時客室に入ったのはカノンのみである。
認めようぜ。バトラ救出時客室に入ったのはカノンのみである。そういう話のつもりだが。
副将要求私の入室からロジックエラージまで私とバトラとカノン以外に入退室したものは存在しない。
認めようぜ。そなたの入室からロジックエラージまで客室を出入りしたのはそなたとバトラとカノンのみだ。
副将要求それはすなわち3人のことである。
認めよう。
Yeah.
そなたとバトラとカノンで3人である。
Kanon, like, didn't split off the osmosis or whatever. No, that's wrong. Osmosis is, you know, when a cell takes, you know, moisture in through its cell membrane or whatever. What's it when a cell divides? Hold on. I promise I passed fucking, yeah, my science classes in high school. Just barely, but I did. Cell division. What's that, that's mitosis, I think? Yeah, mitosis. Okay. I was close.
この3人の定義は体の数に等しいと考え
I
て
even remembered
い
it
い。
before I even got the confirmation from Google.
3体が出入りをしたってことですよね。
I've had enough of things being mixed about with names and numbers of people. I want this point to be clear.
無論だ。3人、すなわち3体が出入りした。そなたとカノンは入ったのみ。バトラは出たのみ。
Alright.
すべての名は本人以外に名乗れないと赤き真実ですでに語っている。よって
Just gotta check, you know.
バトラ、カノンの名はいずれも本人にしか名乗れぬのだ。
副将要求私は救出者ではない。
当然だ。そなたは探偵ではないか。安心せよ。わらわはそれを尊重する。
定義確認。救出者の定義とは
This is also important. I want to immediately remove the possibility that I rescued him accidentally.
救出者とはバトラの開けたチェーンロックを再びかけ直したものというバトラを救う意志があったかどうかは問わないことにしておく。
Okay. Since she said after Battler undid the chain lock, it's impossible for this to have occurred before I set foot in the room. After that point in time, I would not undo the chain for all eternity. After all, the game was suspended at that point. Therefore, it's impossible for me to have been the rescuer accidentally. More, I can boil it down even more. The chain can only be set from the inside, so it's impossible for a person to escape on their own. Therefore, we know that Battler didn't escape by himself. And if I'm not the rescuer, only Kanon can be the rescuer. Plus, Beato's already said that Kanon is the rescuer and the Red Truth. There's nothing to doubt. There's no room for anyone but Kanon to be involved. At least so far.
副将要求出入りの定義とは客室と外部の境界をまたいだかどうかである。
認めよう。
副将要求客室とはベッドルーム、バスル
And
ーム、
the bathroom, the closet?
クローゼット内のすべてを含む。
認めよう。クローゼット内を客室でないと言い逃れる気など
Yeah, that would just be
さらさら
asinine.
ないわ。
定義確認客室内とはベッドルーム、バスルーム、クローゼット内の3区分である。
わらわもその認識
No hidden compartments.
そしてすでにそなたはベッドルーム、バスルームの2区分で誰も隠れていないことを赤き真実で確認したはずだ。
副賞要求。クローゼット内には誰かがいる。
拒否する。
どうしてカノンがそこに隠れているからですか？
カノンは魔法が使えるのだぞ。確かにクローゼットに一時姿を隠しはしたが、その後すぐに魔法で姿を消したのだ。だからクローゼット内には不在。よって復唱はできるわ。
それの復唱を再要求します。
No.
魔女側には魔法で行ったことについて説明する義務はないわ。
Just leading her by the nose. No, it's completely obvious. There's no way she can say that Kanon disappeared with magic using the red truth. After all, magic doesn't exist. But is this enough? I've gone through every last minor detail, and yet there's an uncanny lack of dubious points. I can't imagine that there's any room for anything to go any differently from the theory I've had since the beginning. Kanon must be in the closet. He has to be. There's no way he isn't. I'll say it again. This locked room can only be escaped by switching places with a rescuer. If Kanon tried to escape as well, another rescuer would be needed. However, no rescuer exists for Kanon. Battler escaped, so it's impossible for it to be him. And I won't undo that chain for all eternity. The people who have gone in and out of the room have been confirmed both by name and number of people. Which means my theory is set in stone. First, here are the details of the situation that are certain. The game ended when I was inside the guest room, so I did not undo the chain lock that I had previously set. So it cannot be that he escaped behind my back after I left the room. Furthermore, the chain lock was set at the same time I entered the room. So no one could have left the room during the few seconds between the time I entered and the time I set the chain lock. I sealed the guest room at the time I examined Battler's corpse. So, until I came back and broke the seals, it was absolutely impossible for anyone to go in or out. Therefore, it's certain that Battler was hiding somewhere inside the guest room at the time I entered it. The only chance Battler had to escape was after I broke the seals. To be even more specific, he had no chance to escape except for the time I was in the bathroom. By the above premises, Battler's trick to escape with the chain still set is as follows. For the aforementioned reasons, the only one who could have set the chain lock, which can only be set from the inside and allowed Battler's escape, is Kanon, the only person who can enter the room except for me and Battler. After Kanon entered the room, he set the chain, hid in the one place that he could hide inside the guest room, the closet. Whoa, that was close. They almost got me. They almost tricked me. I thought I had cornered him in the closet. It's the opposite. They're trying to make me think he's in the closet. That was the order in which I searched... What was the order in which I searched the guest room? First, the bedroom. We confirmed with the red that there was nothing there. Then the bathroom. We confirmed with the red that there was nothing there. That's it right there. When we examined the bedroom, there was nothing there. However, while I was investigating the bathroom, he left the closet and went under the bed? Kanon slipped out of the closet and hid again somewhere in the bedroom. In other words, the guarantee that no one was in the bedroom was torn apart after just 1 minute. I've spotted it. This is the witch's trap, an attempt to lure me into thinking that Kanon is in the closet. The place he's really hiding is the bedroom. Alright, spit it out. That was a close one. If I'd gone and said there was nowhere to hide except inside the closet, she'd have said, "Too bad, the closet's empty." Huh? No, wait. It works the same way in reverse. I see, now I get it. It's an interchangeable logic trick. Damn that Beato. So, in resolving the logic error, she's discovered this strange trick. If only I noticed the closet, she'll have Kanon hide under the bed. And if I only notice the bed, she'll have Kanon hide in the closet. Both are correct, and yet choosing either one means losing. I have to expose both at the same time, or it isn't checkmate. Incredible. I've never heard of such an unfair trick. If this was a magician's stage trick, it'd just be a cheap one. If it was a mystery, it'd just be cheating. However, in this witch's game, it's a legitimate logic trick. In chess, it'd be called a double check. No, a discovered attack. No, a discovered double checkmate? Even though this sort of logic would be a foul trick in the mystery genre, in this world where witches wage war with mystery, what a regal proposition it is. Regal position. I think it said position, and I'm just bad at English. No, position. Yeah, position. The beautiful placement of the black pieces cornering my white king feels almost like art. A work of such beauty that if I were a god in the age of myth, I might wish to display it in the sky as a constellation. That beauty even brought tears to my eyes. You drooling too? For the first time, I feel honored to have been allowed to participate as a human in a game of truth against a witch. And ironically, it taught me, a person who has always believed that there is only one truth, that truth isn't necessarily always singular. If I just broaden my perspective, I can see a completely different truth. And though each of those truths are true, both are incorrect if they are all you can see. In my life until now, just how many truths have I turned my eyes away from because I was blinded by some trivial truth? This is the truth of the world.
真実は一つしか存在しないというおごりが、たった一つの真実を見つけただけで、それ以外の真実から私たちを盲目にしてしまう。ありがとう、ベアトリーチェさん。まさか魔女にこの世界の真理を教えられるとは思いませんでした。
Good for you, Erica. Glad you're getting some character development. Unfortunately, I still don't like you. Slowly, with a soft and gentle motion like a flower opening, with the morning dew dripping down its side, Erica raised her gun.
私の勝ちです。あなたのダブルチェック。
ならば来るがいい。
バトラの客室失踪トリックは、バトラは私の室内探索中、そしてバスルームの騒ぎの間にチェーンを外し、この時廊下にはカノンが待機していました。カノンは入れ替わりで客室に入り、チェーンを施錠しました。これがバトラ失踪のトリックです。そしてその後、彼はベッドルーム内に隠れました。私がベッドルームに不審者がいないことを確認した後のことですので、それは有効です。よって、救出者カノンはベッドルームに潜伏しています。
Erica's blue bullet flew in a straight arc, became a wedge of blue truth, and pierced straight down the bed and the floor beneath. Flew in a strange arc. I was about to say, how can it be an arc if it's straight? That doesn't make any goddamn sense. Yato didn't pull her trigger. However, she did quietly argue back with the red truth.
ベッドルームにカノンは存在しない。
The goat attendees gasped. It had appeared as though Erica had been defeated, denied by the blue truth. To go to can't see more than a single truth probably looks as though I've lost. Then he's in the closet. You fool! You've cornered yourself, Beatrice.
本命です。これが並び立つ真実を知り得た。どうやら幻想物語では 第二の番までが終わってるみたいですし、ならば私が残りの番を遂行して黄金鏡への扉を開いてあげましょう。あなたが負けて消えるならば、それ黄金のバラに包まれてがふさわしい。
Stage change? The fires of blue truth flashed in Erica's feet, and she loaded a blue truth bullet once more. That overflowing blue power was now making her entire gun burn with a blue flame. She wasn't aiming for Beato. She was aiming behind Beato, at the closet.
ベッドルームを否定したならば、もう逃げ場はここしかない。死ねカノン。
Miss. The 5 wedges of blue truth she released gazed Beato's cheeks, hair, and shoulders, then pin-cushioned the door to the closet to gouge whatever human was inside to death. The 5 wedges slammed into the door in a vertical line. In other words, on the 4th twilight, gouged the head to kill. On the 5th twilight, gouged the chest to kill. On the 6th twilight, on the 7th twilight, on the 8th twilight, gouged to kill and kill and kill. After being gouged by so many thick and sharp wedges, the human inside wouldn't stand a chance.
これが私の暴く真実です。以上。
When she proclaimed that she had finished, the 5 blue wedges piercing the closet disappeared. However, the many large, splintered holes left behind showed that it had indeed been pierced. Then, as though this had concluded the ceremony that led to the Golden Land, the space that was the constructed guest room became countless golden flower petals and drifted away. Now, the duelist and the crowd of attendees were surrounded by the golden rose garden of the Golden Land. However, the closet behind Beato remained. It stood there all by itself, like a coffin. Then, as though teased open by a desolate wind, the hole-covered closet door slowly opened. Inside was a human figure. That figure was covered up to the head by what appeared to be a greenish-gray robe. Of course, that also had large holes showing that it had been stabbed into. Eventually, it became clear that it was not a robe, but a raincoat. If he had rushed here from the guest house, then there would be nothing strange about him wearing this into the guest room. Then, with a rustle, that raincoat lost its human shape, crumpled, became a cloud of gold butterflies, and disappeared. You've been fighting my clone this entire time, Erica. Inside the coffin of the closet, nothing remained except an empty darkness.
客室にカノンは存在しない。もちろんクローゼット、ベッドルーム、バスルーム。
Got her ass.
カノンはバトラーを逃がしクローゼットに隠れ。
And then you spirited him away.
そして魔法にて消えた。それが魔女の真実以上だ。
勝負ありです。それ以上は。
Nah, fuck it. I want to shoot her anyway.
勝者ベアトリーチェ
Oh! Oh! The attendees let out a cheer. Virgilia's group couldn't help but scream and shout in joy. The 7 sisters jumped about in celebration. Then, at the same moment the 2 demons proclaimed Beatrice's victory, the head's ring worn by Erica, who was slowly crumpling to the ground, and the cursed ring on Battler's finger both burst. At the same time, Battler coughed violently. Same bud. Battler was starting to regain consciousness. Okay, you're being a little bipolar here, Beatrice. Take your lithium. Beato latched onto the coughing battler in joy. Virgilia, Gap, and Runaway did the same. All the 7 sisters also crowded about him in delight.
ひでえトリックだ。こんなので通ると思ってんのか。こんなトリックじゃまた人間どもが
Yeah.
こんなのミステリーじゃねえって騒い
Yeah,
だ
that's a tricky one.
いいえ、立派なトリックです。愛がない人には見えないです。バトラさん、バトラさん。
Alright, you're snotting. Like, snot stains will show up real easy on this black cloak. At least pick up the glove and, like, blow your snot into that. The rows of blood in Erica's chest wouldn't stop opening its petals. She can't cope. She's seasoned out.
駒の主の最短承認が必要なり。
ベルンカステル教
Yeah, we need her
最短
EpiPen.
の高級感をベルンカステル教どちらに
式典警備隊に捜索要請。ベルンカステル教を探したまえ。了解であり
Good
ま
luck
す。
with that.
オールシエスタデータリンク捜索体制。
I think she just gave everyone the Irish goodbye and just slipped out the back door.
卑劣。主が駒の決闘を見届けないなんて卑劣が過ぎると知れ。
After learning that her master was already nowhere to be seen, Erica, who was being held by Delaner, didn't feel lonely. On the contrary, she was relieved that she wouldn't need to be brutally scolded in the last moments of her life.
神と悪魔たちよ、彼女の高潔なる散り際をどうか語り継ぎたまえ。
I mean, you gave your best shot, but
きっちり無様に散って主品を盛り上げなきゃです。 I'm not anyone's piece anymore. I can finally control my own role.
ヘリカ教動いてはいけません。
下がりなさい。
Yeah, sucking chest wounds are pretty gross.
下がれ
When Erica yelled with all of her soul, those who surrounded her flinched back and fell on their butts.
私は真実の魔女フルトエリカ。真実の魔女とは真実に耐える魔女。私はようやく自分の本当の真実を受け入れられそうなんです。
Just gonna pull a power up out of your ass? Alright. A lot of room up there from, you know, how often you stick your head in it. Toxin of her own concept being denied raced through her. Her vision was already starting to blur. At the other end of her twisted range of vision were Battler and Beato hugging each other and looking at her. Later, bitch. Their expressions are firm. That's okay. Pity and sympathy would only make me look more pathetic. That sort of expression is a loser's greatest salvation.
ヘリカ教もう決闘は終わっています。
終わってないんだ。
死が二人を分かつまで。
誰にも彼女の散り際を。
Alright, someone go out on the guard and get Beatrice a big rock so she can finish this. The 2 demons grabbed Elena's shoulders and held her back. Dripping blood, breathing heavily, and with an awkward gait, Erica walked towards Beato and Battler despite it all. As the blood dripped from her, it became golden flower petals, which drifted away. So as she walked, she looked both divine and beautiful. The duel wouldn't end until one of them died, So, even though the outcome was clear, it wasn't over. Beato and Battler told the people bunched around them to step back, and they both walked forward to face the noble loser.
エリカ。
復活おめでとうございます。あんた、情難の相を持ってますよ。
Yeah, just a bit.
ろくな女に好かれやしない。
そうだな。
Yeah, but who wants normal
俺
anyway?
もろくな女に惚れね
ベアト、いいえ、あんたたちに頼みが。
もう人たちを望むのですか？
I doubt that's it. She's gonna topple over with a stiff breeze at this point.
受けようぞ。そなたの高潔なる申し出を断る無粋をわらわたちは持たぬ。
ありがとう。
As her consciousness began to waver, Erica raised her gun again. She pointed it at the two of them. Beato also raised her gun to point at Erica. Then, Battler placed his hand on hers.
もう決着してるのに。これ以上何の論点があるというのです。
エ
リカ様。
It's complicated.
私はなぜ何の力にもなれずここに。
見届けなさい。それが親友の仕事でしょ。
Both sides silently loaded their bullets of truth without saying a word. The pink, where did I get that word from? The color packed into each barrel was red. I think I was looking at the roses above color, and my brain just auto-corrected to be like, oh, color? Yeah, it's pink. Though neither side spoke, they did both know what trump card did they both know what trump card the other would use?
最後に自己紹介しとこうと思いまして。
What she's saying is late into the game. No one could imagine what red truth Erica had loaded.
ベアト、いいのか？
はい、構いません。
わかった。
せめて
Yeah, let's romantically pull the trigger and fucking blast this girl away.
わかってるぜ。
Battler placed his own hand on top of the finger that Beato had around the
バ
trigger.
トラさん、会えてよかった。
俺たちは永遠にずっと一緒だ。
イチャイチャと見せつけてくれます。
Yeah.
イラついてきてたんです。やっぱお涙で退場は私の好みじゃないです。やっぱ悪役は最後の最後までこういう面でなきゃ。
いい面構えだぜ。お前との結婚生活もヘドが出るくらい楽しかったかもな。
当然です。毎日のけぞらせまくって、
Oh,
ベアト
great.
さんなんか忘れさせてあげるくらいの快楽の世界に閉じ込めてあげたのに。
Now, the question is, what do you define as pleasure?
お前ごとき小娘。バトラを虜にするにはまだ
Hey, you don't got no
1000年
tits.
早いわ。
ああ、あんたの顔もそれが一番キュートです。お互い最後はこういう顔がいいですよね。
恋。
これが探偵フルドエリカの最後の捨て台詞、そして自己紹介です。
Erica spun around in a magnificent and graceful rondo, scattering blood and golden petals around all over the place.
探偵フルドエリカと申します。
Oh, it's going. We're at the end. It's just running on its own.
我こそは来訪者、ロッケン島の18人目の人間。
Yep.
申し訳ないが
そなたを迎えても
17人だ。
Dang. Poor Battler. He died. Well then, that's quite a loaded statement to end off on, huh? That 18 is actually 17. Interesting. That's some funny maths. Gonna have to mull over that one. What does it mean? I got nothing. Other than Beatrice is, Erica is Beatrice, who is also someone else. Ugh. I don't know, man. I'm just gotta fucking spitball it. Who fucking knows? Well, some people know. It's just not me. People much smarter than me know. Or who have just read the wiki. I mean, like, I could, just in between parts, go on the wiki and read the chapter summaries and have everything explained to me, so that way I can come back to the beginning of, like, the first part of a next episode and be like, yes, you see, the reason X, Y, and Z happened was because of 1, 2, and 4. Not 3, though. 3 is just a trick. Okay, to think. About 5. And then everyone would go, ooh, and give me a nice golf clap and, praise me about how smart I am, but we both know I'm not. And, when they say when you cheat, the only one you're really cheating is yourself. Words to live by. That are also wrong. No, you can just cheat. I mean, sure, like, you might not fully, internalize what you're supposed to be learning, but depending on what it is, fuck it, cheating's fine. Like, if you're taking some dumb online class that you need to pass, and you just have, answers open in another tab, I don't care. Who cares? Ooh. Scary lightning. Whew, that was a long part. Good thing I decided to push through. I was actually thinking of, stopping there like maybe half an hour ago, but we made it. Whew, almost there. Almost there, people. Only 2 more to go. After, we do the tea party and the mystery segment and not. But with that is where we're going to end it here for today. Once again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell. I'll see you guys all next time for the next episode of Umineko, where we'll do the tea party and the question mark, God knows whatever that segment is, for episode 6. Catch you guys later. Bye. Mwah.